for housing. Please leave a message indicating the area of concern you are calling about, or forward the Attorney General an email to ag.minister@gov.bc.ca. That email address is ag.minister@gov.bc.ca. We will endeavor to respond to your call and concerns as soon as possible. Please be advised and note that telephone messages containing profanity and abusive language will not be returned. Effective November 26, 2020, the responsibility for ICBC has been assigned to the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General. The contact phone number for Minister Farnworth is 250-356-2178 in Victoria. That number again is 250-356-2178 in Victoria. Thanks again for taking the time to call.
After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
This is Victoria Nevens calling, David E.B., and all agents acting as BC Attorney Generals. I am calling to establish the change in my status from Canadian citizen to non-domestic foreign national, belonging exclusively to a foreign kingdom created by a foreign trust, a foreign estate, known as the Way, the Truth, and the Life, which are the laws of my peculiar people, a foreign private kingdom, a foreign private foundation. This verbal declaration of myself correcting my status as a private tourist, a non-domestic foreign national, now establishes as myself and all of my private property, whether real biological private property or real residential property or real residential security, as owing no debt, no duty, no obligation or allegiance to the corporation acting as Canada or to the corporation acting as the province of British Columbia. I'm now looking at the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, which states in Article 5, I have the right to equal treatment before tribunals and all other organs administering justice, which also says in Section B of Article 5, I have the right to security of myself and my real biological property and the protection by the province of British Columbia and its agents against violence or bodily harm, whether inflicted by government officials or any individual group or institution. I'm now looking at Section D of Article 5. I have the right to freedom of movement and residence. I have the right to own property alone. I have the right to inherit. I have the right to freedom of thought and conscience, and I have the right to freedom of expression. There's going to be a continual problem between myself and all of the male and female humans legally defined as monsters who I'm attempting to receive service from, because there's a lack of understanding of the language that I speak and what you're hearing and what you're understanding. Now, Harman Mangat of the Telecom branch of CIBC owes me $7,000 in reimbursements for unlawfully used survivor pension benefits utilized to pay CIBC bills. Those monies are due and payable now, and those monies, I had made arrangements to attend the Telecom branch to pick up that reimbursement. That is not a good idea for me because this Harman Mangat is an indictable crime-committing criminal. So he's required to serve me the reimbursement at the location I am currently at. And you all know where I'm currently at because you constantly commit acts of indictable crime against me and continual acts of civil trespasses against me because your hatred for me is so off the charts that I have a pattern of provable acts of prosecution and persecution, which is unlawful and it's illegal. I also require reimbursement of every single storage locker fee and every single housing cost that I have incurred since I was violently, forcefully removed from my lawful domicile March the 19th, 2020, and those reimbursements are due and payable by the Accounts Payable Department of the District of Saanich. Those monies need to be placed into either a bank draft or a check and delivered to me at the front desk of the location I'm currently at, and you all know my location. You all know my location. So I am not comfortable going out into the public. I'm not comfortable driving my car that's been vandalized in another hate crime. I had my window blown out by a hate crime in the District of Saanich, and Saanich PD are doing nothing about it. I've had my car then broken into after that. Do you realize that those are acts of genocide leveled against me by members of society in British Columbia, and yet nobody in this office is doing anything about this? This is a problem because that's the act of fraud. It's an indictable crime to you to claim to serve victims of crime but not serve me. That's discrimination. That's a problem. I email all the time. I never hear anything intelligent back from any of you. Why is that? So, who's got the keys to my house? Because I'm going home. I'm going home. And the hundreds of millions of dollars that are owed to me and my family for the continual acts of genocide against us are due and payable. But that's not law, and that's not justice. Law and justice are the way, the truth, and the life, and that's exactly what I'm going to roll out on every single male and female human, legally defined as monsters, who've attacked myself and my son, and now you've attacked myself and my spouse. And we all know the legal rules that you cannot come and file a foreclosure petition on an estate. Do I need to teach you your own legal rules? Is this the level of intelligence I'm dealing with the public servants in this office? Your ignorance and your incompetence are unlawful, and it's illegal what you're doing to me. You're stonewalling me on purpose because you want me to commit suicide. This call is being recorded. I'm going to place it on social media because you need to be identified and you need to be removed from your offices. It actually says right here in the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination that I have the right to take part in the government as well as in the conduct of public affairs at any level and to have equal access to public service. So why is it that none of you public servants in this office, acting as BC Attorney Generals, are serving me according to my race and my non-domestic foreign national status? That's a problem. And it's going to stop because I'm not going to continue to put up with this racism because of who I am and what I am. It's got to stop, and it's got to stop now. So if you have nothing intelligent to say to me, and clearly you don't, clearly you have nothing intelligent to offer to me, clearly the services you provide are so toxic that it's causing me to have my peace disturbed every single day, which is another indictable crime, right? It is true that the wicked understand nothing. It's also true that the wicked are so accustomed to doing evil that you cannot do good. So when I demand that you do good and I demand that you follow the law, you can't do it. You can't do it. It's impossible for you to do good because you're so accustomed to doing ugly and evil, especially against the living. This is a problem, and it's got to stop because I require service. I am a woman who identifies as a woman with disabilities, right? Because I require a group of advocates to do all the paperwork, all the government paperwork. Either I'm going to get paid to do all the government paperwork, or you are required to put together a team of advocates to make sure all the government paperwork that requires to be done is done, because I get paid to work. And nothing I ever do as it pertains to government services ends up in me being made whole. I have to be made whole from all acts of genocide that have been leveled against me by agents acting as the provincial court in BC here. We got a problem, folks, and you're going to have to deal with me, and you're going to have to deal with what you've done to me. You stonewalling me is a form of satanic ritual abuse, and it's so disgusting because you have nothing intelligent to say. You have nothing intelligent to offer because you're a completely different race and species than my peculiar people who are tourists here, and you haven't been kind to me. Have you ever heard the term be kind to strangers? You should be kind to strangers. Is this call even recording? Well, it's not going to matter because I'm going to post this online. You public servants will be exposed publicly to the public, okay? Because there are an avalanche of monies owed to myself and my family, and my son is going to be returned to me immediately, and I'm going home. So, all of the trespassers squatting on my private property better be gone, and all their property better be gone. And if I require any services from those posing as the Saanich Police Department, if I call them and tell them that I'm laying charges, I'm laying trespassing charges, I'm laying mischief charges, I'm laying criminal negligence charges against any squatter still occupying my
Message
stolen
canceled.
house.
After the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, hang up or press the pound key for more options.
This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous, the kind of service that the living have to put up with from a dead cult. Seriously.